Hello, I'm Mohammed Aman Sheikh. I'm here to present my blockchain project in which I implemented a fundraising application by marketing the open source project. To begin with, I created a two simple Solidity code and deployed and compiled using Remix. So these are two basic contract created by me. I have deployed this Solidity code on MetaMask and Ganesh as a local test network. The complete application is deployed on AWS Elastic Beanstalk, which is a platform as a service and is easy to manage and deploy the application. So now let's start with the development of Solidity code and deployment and compilation of the Solidity code to deploy it on MetaMask and Ganesh local test network. So this is the first Solidity code in which I'm adding the candidate, retrieving the candidate, and storing the count of the candidate. So this is the smart contract that I have created, the first smart contract that I have created, and the second one is this, in which I am raising the funds, withdrawing the funds, and also getting the total count of the funds raised. I compiled the Solidity code using 0.8.24 commit compiler. So let's compile this Solidity codes. So after compilation, we get this ABI JSON string, which is needed to be added in Node.js application, which is our backend application, which is used to communicate with the smart contract. For deployment, let's deploy it from here by selecting injected provider as a MetaMask. So after the deployment is completed, we can see this contract address of the contract on Sapola Etherscan. So this is our contract address, which will be used in Node.js application as a address to communicate with the smart contract. Now coming towards the implementation and coding part of the application, so I created a simple if-else loop to check if the Web3 is injected or added as extension in the browser on which the application is to be run. So here I'm creating a new Web3 object which checks if MetaMask is installed as an extension or not. If not, it alerts to install the MetaMask to use this application. And also, I have mentioned the contract address and contract ABI that will be required to communicate with the smart contracts. To start interaction with contract, we first need to create an object of that contract by using the contract ABI and contract address, of course. Furthermore, we can directly call the functions mentioned in the contract by using the object created and call the function directly as such. So at first time, whenever these functions are called, it asks for login to the MetaMask to perform this transaction. And after the user login to the MetaMask, these transactions are performed. Now let's see the demonstration of my decentralized application. So I have deployed my application on AWS Elastic Beanstalk, which is platform as a service. It is completely managed service. So we can see the health status is okay, and Elastic Beanstalk has provided us with a domain. Now let's access this domain. So this is the front end of my application, and these are the different tabs in my applications or dashboards in my application. And now let's see the actual demonstration of the smart contracts that is implemented. So let's click on login button first. It will first ask us to connect to MetaMask to implement the transaction that are implemented as a smart contract. So let's connect to MetaMask first. So we can see MetaMask window pop-ups and ask for the confirmation to connect this site with the MetaMask. Let's click next by selecting our working wallet. So we have successfully connected our application to MetaMask, and it has redirected to our actual application where the smart contracts are implemented. And now let's see how our deployed smart contracts are actually working. So these are the different buttons that I have placed. That is raised fund, display, amount raised, request to contribute. All these buttons are linked with our smart contracts in the backend in the Node.js with the Node.js code. I have deployed raise funds and display amount raised fund different display amount raised rules as a smart contract on Ganesh. So we can see there are 23 blocks currently, and after clicking raise funds button, there is no addition of blocks on Ganesh server as this raise fund and display amount raised are deployed on Ganesh, and Ganesh being a local test network, we are unable to communicate at a web. So let's see this demonstration of this smart contract on our local browser or using local IDE, Visual Studio. Let's start this application. So application was started successfully, and now after clicking the raise fund button, we can see we got the alert as fund raised successfully, and also at the Ganesh, new block should be added, and it got added. And after clicking on display amount raised, it interacts with our backend smart contract using contract address and ABI to display the amount raised. Now coming back to the application deployed on Elastic Beanstalk, let's see how the contribute smart contract is interacting with MetaMask. Let's hit the button request to contribute. Here it asks for the all the interested candidates who are interested to contribute to that by entering their name and email. Candidate who are interested contribute to that project can simply enter the name and email and click on submit button. So after clicking on submit button, it interacts with our MetaMask contract. Now let's add the name and email address. So after clicking on submit button, you can see MetaMask window pop-ups and ask for confirmation. It is basically interacting with the smart contract deployed and asking for the confirmation. Let's confirm this. So let's wait for the transaction to get completed. We can see the candidate was added successfully and the transaction was confirmed. And we also received the pop-up window as candidate added successfully. And now let's see this transaction added on our owner login page by clicking on owner login and adding username as and password as admin. So let's click login. And now again the total candidate and list candidate button interact with our smart contract to list the total count and all the and also to list the all the candidates that were interested to contribute to the project. Let's hit that buttons. We can see total candidate interested were 13, and now we can also see the candidate that were interested, and the newly candidate interest is retrieved from the meta smart contract that was deployed on MetaMask. So this was a simple demonstration of my project in which I have implemented two smart contracts, one deployed on MetaMask and second one deployed on Ganesh. I have also integrated my application with Map API. The complete development of this application was carried on Node.js, and smart contract was developed using Solidity language, which was deployed using Remix on MetaMask and Ganesh, and the complete application is deployed on AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Thanks a lot.